Landing gear are coming down. And lined up for runway 18 at Omaha. This is going to be an ILS approach. I have locked on to the localizer and I'll begin my descent. We did start a bit too high. We're going to make some corrections and still make this a good landing. We are 2 miles away from the airport.
Sink right.
Flaps are at full. The gear are down. We have 3 green. Landing lights are on. Navigation lights are on. Strobes are on. Making corrections.
One thing.
See if we can grease this in. Slightly off center, but a very smooth landing. Alright. Flaps go to takeoff mode position. Bring the throttle up. Throttle's going forward. Watch the airspeed. 90 knots, 100 knots. Rotate. Gear up. Fly runway heading until clear of the runway. Gaining airspeed. Prepare for a sharp left. There we go. Balloon right at our 6 o'clock. Hope we don't hit it. Well, that was close. Turning low over the bluffs. Gonna bring it down to the deck. This is a view from the heads-up display.
40.
Flying low over the Missouri River. Bank left. 100 feet over the water. We go back into navigational mode here in just a few seconds. Get some altitude, and that is I-80. Alright, we're getting some altitude. Right through the cloud deck. Alright, the autopilot has been activated. It's in navigational mode. And our next waypoint has been selected. The next waypoint is not shown correctly. Next waypoint is Kodope, K-O-D-P-E. We're going to intercept that at an altitude of 2,800 feet. Vertical navigation, autopilot is on. The autopilot has determined I need to descend at a rate of 100 feet per minute in order to intercept Kodope at 2,800 feet at my present airspeed of 192 knots. Kodope is right here at that corner. You'll see we'll make a right turn when we get to that point. It's about 6 miles away. Nice cloud layers. Down below at our 12 o'clock is Offutt Air Force Base. If you're landing from the east, you land on runway 30. If you land from the from the west, you're going to land on runway 12. Those same numbers exist at Millard Airport, which might be confusing for a less experienced pilot. Flying the Eclipse 550 today. Just got her painted in this new black paint scheme. I think it looks rather sexy. Do another flyby here. Okay. We are 2 miles away from our turn. There's the Missouri River as it snakes from the north to the south. Alright, the autopilot is making the turn for us. Here we go. This means we just passed Kodope. We should be at an altitude of 2,800 feet. No. We're significantly higher than we were supposed to be. But it looks like the autopilot is compensating, descending at a rate of 1,300 feet per minute. I've set the auto throttle for 149 knots. If you look in the distance, you can barely see the VASI lights for runway 30 at Millard. We're approximately 9 miles away from the airport. Reducing speed, flaps are at 1. After I cross the next waypoint in approximately 2 miles, I'll lower the gear and I'll bring the flaps down another notch. I'll also reduce the speed to about 120 knots. I'm not sure why the flight computer doesn't work in replay mode. Alright, the gear just went down. Still in autopilot. The airport is 5.1 miles away. Flaps are now at 2. Looks like we have another hot air balloon out there in front of us. Should be no factor, it's drifting from left to right because the wind is actually at 230 at 8. So we'll get a little bit of a left push as we approach. And you can see the plane is flying in a crab with the nose slightly pointed left of the direction of travel. Right now we're flying over Bellevue, Nebraska. Should be able to see Offutt still out there in the distance. Maybe not. Okay, once I get closer, about a quarter mile closer, I'll switch the autopilot off and I'll land it by hand. The autopilot seems to want to bring me in a little bit too low. We don't have any obstacles though other than I-80, which is 1 mile ahead. Here's the view from the runway. There's I-80 in the foreground. That's us in the background. We're lined up for runway 30, 2 miles from touchdown. Don't have a co-pilot, and I don't have any passengers today. I got the new Financial Times. Equities suffer as Lehman falls 45%. Okay, I'm switching to manual control now. There's I-80 right in front of us.
600.
And you can definitely see that I'm crabbing as I land, nose pointed to the left of the direction of travel. This is the runway view. Let's see if I can put it right on the numbers. Nope, right on the oil spot. Nice landing. This plane does not have thrust reversers, but is a fairly lightweight jet. I think I'll make the next turn with no problem. I'm retracting the flaps. And making the turn. All these birds, I hope none of them get sucked into my engines. Alright folks, welcome to Millard, Nebraska. It's 4:23 in the afternoon, and it seems like the seagulls are just very interested in sitting around here. Look at those stupid seagulls. Alright. Thanks for flying with us today, folks. Have a good day.